All right, y'all. So today we are talking about the power of discernment. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't think people realize how important discernment is. It is key in so many things. It is key in the prevention of disappointments. It is key in the prevention of unnecessary heartbreaks. It is key in so many things. And I don't think we realize it, but we're going to get into it. So, what is discernment, you ask? Let's ask Google. Hold on. I was watching Grey's Anatomy. That's like my comfort show. Also, Ellen Pompeo did an interview on Call Her Daddy. So freaking good. Hold on. Let's look at the exact definition of discernment. The ability to judge well. You need to be able to see people for who they are. And this is something that we do a lot, especially when we're like crushing on somebody and we have interest, like a special interest in someone, where we start seeing people for their potential and not for who they really are, not for who they're actually showing us that they are. Okay. We start seeing people based on our perception of who they may be or who they could be in the future. But here's the thing. If you guys watch my last video, I talk about if no one chooses you at the end of the day, choose yourself. You cannot go wrong with choosing this person that you are at the moment, loving them, becoming love, and not allowing outside things to invalidate your worth, right? So, we talk about being love, become that which you want to attract. Totally. I always say that, become that which you want to attract. So if you're looking for love, if you want love, and whatever it may be, become it. And eventually, because everyone is chasing love, we're using the example of love, okay? Because everyone is chasing love and you become love, you're going to be that, you're going to be attracting that. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. When you are love and you're attracting those who are looking for love, keep in mind that you're not only going to attract the good things, okay? Because yes, like attracts like, but you have to also think about the fact that misery loves company, okay? And so, look at a beautiful flower outside. A beautiful flower doesn't just attract people that are going to come and care for the flower and admire its beauty. It's also going to attract those people that are like, oh my God, look at that beautiful flower. Da! Stomp on it, right? Or, oh my God, look at that beautiful flower and yank it from its source. When you become love, it's something beautiful, but you still have the power of discernment and you still have the power of choice, right? I had a friend who told me one time, she said, I don't know why, but I always attract married men. And I told her, yeah, so do I. Do you know what I mean? So do I. I also attract married men, but it's not about what you attract, it's about what you allow. Okay. And that is where the power of discernment comes in. When you look at what's coming towards you, you have to be able to decipher, is this good for me? Is this good for me? Is this not good for me? Right? Because when you become something that many want to chase, that many want in their life, you have to understand that you cannot allow everybody in, especially when you've been doing the hard work with on yourself, when you've been working on yourself, when you're working on your mindset, when you're working on your physical body, when you're working on your health, whatever it may be that you're working on. All of that took work. Okay. And that just means that you need to take care of what you've worked for. Life is going to send you so many different things, and you just have to know where this door's closed, this door's closed. Okay, fine. This is good for me, right? It's good for both of us. Let me open the door. That is the power of discernment, where you have to look and be able to say what's good for me and what isn't. And especially when you're working on yourself, especially when you're bettering yourself, when things start coming in, you need to be able to say, you, from what I'm seeing, from what I hear, from your actions, you're only going to bring me down to a level that I don't ever want to be at again. Okay. And then another person, you might be like, oh, I like this. We could help each other become better. Right. This is whether it's romantic relationships, this is whether it's friendships, this is whether it's a job. right? Let's talk about jobs, for example. Just because a job pays well doesn't mean that it's good for your mental health. Like, you have to know what you want. Do you want money with bad mental health, or do you want a job that's going to keep you afloat mentally, emotionally, work life balance with an okay pay? How badly do you want a relationship? Are you willing to just let anybody in for the sake of having a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Or are you willing to stand alone for a bit and wait for the right person to come? Not saying people are perfect, because nobody's perfect. Not saying that the right person won't eventually hurt you in some way or disappoint you in some way. No one is perfect. But it's that power of discernment when you're like, okay, these are the pros, these are the cons. Just being able to choose accordingly and say, this is what's good for me and this is not what's good for me, and being able to allow and then reject as needed. Like I said, especially when you're working on yourself, some people will literally come in just to undo all the work that you've done, and that is not fair to you whatsoever. So make sure that you're doing what's right by you first and foremost. I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday. We were talking about resentment. And I told her, I think what you carry inside is what you show the world, right? We talk about resenting other people, but that's only when you resent someone on the outside is because you carry that resentment within you, right? And what you have on the inside is what you show to the world. When you're a happy person, you radiate happiness. When you're miserable, you radiate that misery, right? And when you're resentful, you radiate that resent to the outside world. So when you're working on yourself and you're doing great and you're glowing up, you're gonna radiate that out to the world. And a lot of people are gonna be attracted to that, but that doesn't mean you allow every single person in, right? You have to be able to choose for yourself what's good for you and what's not good for you. What's not, stay on the outside. What's good, allow it to come in and to elevate you and for you to elevate them as well. We have to be able to discern what's good for us and what's not. Because if you don't, it's so easy for the world to pull you down, right? And it's really difficult to get back up. Think about it. Going down the stairs is so easy. Coming up the stairs is a fucking struggle, right? Going up is so much harder than going down. But the view at the top is so much better. So much better. But that doesn't mean you allow just anybody in, right? So keep that in mind. Stay with that. Think about the power of discernment and think about who deserves to have access to you and who doesn't. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting in some way. And if you did like it, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for much, much more to come. And I'll see you guys next week.